You've heard the phrase flying the flag. What about sitting on the flag? Because this amazing example, the Spice Girl seat, as you can almost call it, has been done by P&P Seating in Birmingham, and we're here just to see what they can do with these sort of seats and ordinary seats. Well, if the Spice Girl special isn't quite your cup of tea, Chris Hendon here is the marketing manager for P&P, and he can sort you out on whatever you want. Well, pretty well, can't you, Chris?
Just about, Jeff, yes.
Now tell me, that seat is not typical of the sort of everyday business of P&P, is it?
No. Usually we are making seats for Triumph, Bonneville or CX500.
Those are your sort of mainstay stuff?
Those are the standard seats. Those are, we do 200 to 300 seats like that every week.
But if someone did want a Spice Girl special, perhaps you'll have to register that as a name, won't you, Spice Girl special?
We will do. A major on it. This came in this morning, and it was as a result of somebody seeing the Spice Girl seat, and they want theirs exactly the same.
And this is not a setup, folks. This is for real. I was here when this came in.
Incredible.
Yeah. And so this girl actually wants a seat made out with the old Union Jack there.
Yeah.
And
she's detailed exactly what it's going to look like on the bike and exactly where she wants the Union Jack. She's even taped it onto the top of the seat.
Yeah.
So we can't make a mistake.
I say, lo behold, if you get it wrong. Yeah. And so, customising seats then, that's a popular thing anyway, isn't it? People want different seats. So how does that work? Do people come with the whole bike if they want something special?
Yes, we have bikes arrive on a Saturday or during the week, mainly Saturdays. The bike arrives outside, we take somebody out, take the seat off or discuss what the customer wants with them, bring the seat inside, measure the frame and produce the seat.
So this is real bespoke tailoring, exactly what the person wants. And if someone comes up on a special bike they've made, you can even make a special seat pan for them, can't you?
Yes, we have a metal bashing shop at the back and a woodwork shop, whether it's a wooden base or a metal base. We can cater for everybody.
Yeah, so anything at all. And I happened to, having a look round earlier, you also do the police, the pan-European seats, you chop them up.
Honda bring the bike in with a twin seat on it. We either bring the bike here or just the seat. We'll take the seat, cut it in half, use the existing foam from the existing seat and put it on a different base.
Yeah, and you've even made a new base for it, haven't you?
Yes, we've made a completely new base now so that we can, it's a lot faster to do it. We can bolt it straight onto the pan-European.
Yeah, and it makes a better job of it, doesn't it?
It does a much better job now.
Now, is there anything here you can't do? Because I mean, I've seen some seats here as they've come in and they look absolutely terrible. You know, the foam's gone, the cover's gone. I mean, that's just not a problem to you?
No, not at all. We have a foam moulding shop upstairs.
Yeah.
And we've got all the moulds for most of the seats. If not, we'll take a normal mould from upstairs and we'll carve the foam to suit.
Yeah, and so moulding fine, but even you can just get a block of foam and knock the corners off, literally.
Yeah, we just knock the corners off with a bit like a carving knife.
Yeah, and watch your fingers.
Watch your fingers, yeah.
Well, look, if we can have a look around the factory, I understand your partner Martin will be doing that, but that would be good, and we'll perhaps follow a seat through from beginning to end. Chris wasn't joking when he said they could tackle anything. A pile of the tattiest seats you could possibly imagine was stacked up ready to be sorted. A ripped-up custom seat that must have left a real impression on its owner, an early 1970s CB72 fully sprung job, a taped-up creation that must have belonged to an electrician, and one even covered in an old T-shirt. Why bother? A bin liner would have made more sense. And it wasn't just the seats. Sometimes the bases were perforated more than the foam. But having accepted the job, their mission was to completely recover before the seat self-destructed. I asked partner, young Martin Plunkett, whose dad had founded the firm, what they did next. So Martin, is this what you call this is the start of the strip down process then?
Yes, it is. Firstly, we have to take the cover off the seat itself to reveal the foam, where we can actually start investigating and seeing what damage has actually been caused to the seat.
And that's easier on a modern seat with the plastic base, because they're just stapled, aren't they, with a high-powered stapler?
Yeah, that's it. They use an air compression staple gun, which perforates the material and then into the plastic base and holds it fairly securely.
Your guys must be getting a hell of a state with some of this stuff as well. Oh my God, look at that.
They certainly do.
Yeah. So he's... would that polythene liner have been on that seat already, or has someone put that on?
Yes, it is. The manufacturers actually apply the polythene liner purely as a means to trying to keep the seat drier longer.
Martin, so Kevin's managed to salvage that seat base, which will no doubt please the customer.
Certainly will.
But what are we doing now?
Well, basically, once the seat base has been salvaged, like you say, Jeff, we've repaired the foam, got the lumps, bumps and problems out of there. We then put what we call a 1/4 inch peel foam, which as you can see is a very soft.
It is, isn't it? Yeah,
foam.
very low density stuff. Yeah.
So what we will then do is pull that over the seat, and it enables us to get a nice smooth finish before we put the cover over,
I got you.
which obviously prevents any wrinkles, creases or...
Yeah, it just
problems
takes
with
out
the
those little imperfections.
cover. That's it.
Now Kevin made that look very easy. Is that it?
No, we're now on to the final phase, which is actually the seat recovering side of it. The material that we use will actually be pulled over. We'll then use a high pressure staple gun and it's stapled through the material and into the plastic base itself.
Well, this isn't a draper's store, this is where all the material's kept and all the patterns are kept. Martin, these patterns, racks and racks of them, what's your coding system? How do you sort them out?
Basically, we've got very simple coding. We use a prefixed initial off the manufacturer. So obviously we've got S, H, Y, K.
And let me guess, it's not very hard to guess, it is. So that's Suzuki and Honda and Yamaha, Kawasaki, Triumph, etc.
That's right.
Right, so that gives you your coding, and then once you've got these patterns, what do you do? Do you lay them on that, is that the cutting bench I can see there?
Yeah, this is what we use to cut the actual patterns themselves.
Mhm.
They're brought over, laid on top of the material. As you can see on this particular layer, the material's quite thick. Purely because if we cut in a numerous amount,
You can, you
build
can
up
save
layers.
time and money, yeah.
It's a lot easier.
So how many can you cut on? What's here, about 8 or 10
yeah,
layers?
the maximum we would cut in this material would be about 15 layers.
Yeah, it's truth. And so you then build up all the batches. I'll test you, what's this one, H173?
That's the CB550F1.
Oh, that's very good. It's not a 175, I thought it was close enough to a
No,
175.
basically the numbers themselves are just in.
Yeah, you've got them
Upgrading
catalogued.
normally.
Yeah, fine, okay. So far, so good. But what about if your old Bonneville base is Bonnie no more and looks a bit like this? No worries for the metal bashers at P&P. They'll weld your bits in, or if it's totally had it, they'll make you a new one. They keep a good stock in of fast-moving seat pans, but they've also got patterns and moulds for most seats. And if it's BSA or Triumph, they've even got the original press. Steel blanks are cut to size using a firework display. No, not really, it's a gas plasma cutter. From where they are fed into the press, given a hefty thump, and then hey presto, one shiny new seat base. Only one process left now, the sticky business of seat foam production. So how does this sticky mess here get into this beautifully sculptured seat pad?
Right, and basically, Jeff, what we do, we pour the foam into a mould like this one. Now the foam actually comes in two parts. We've got the isocyanate and the polymer foam. The iso, basically, that's just a hardener to help the foam go off in the cold cure situation. The lid is then placed over the top of the mould, clamped down, and hey presto, out comes the foam.
So no baking, it's just done there and
Nothing
then?
at all.
And how long does that take? Just minutes, is it?
Probably about 5-6 minutes.
Yeah,
Cure the
okay,
foam.
fine. Nice quick process.